What's good? Good morning, my fans and everyone out there. How's the new year going? Yeah, how's everything? Today we are going to look at the shift of blame by Africans. Um, there are things that I want to point out. As I always say, views, comments are welcome. The shift of blame of Africans is what I want to discuss about today. We have spent years as Africans to regularize, to look at our economy, to look at things that has to do with our education, to look at how unity will be propagated in Africa. But all of these has not been useful. Academicians, young scholars, professors, doctors from different parts of the world, viewers, listeners out there, please don't hesitate to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video that I'm about to explain the shift of blame of Africans. I would like to start with education. Most of the African countries, they copied the Western world education, meaning the Western world structured their educational system, monitor it, and provide all the necessary facilities for their children. So none will be there, or out of 100%, I can say 90 to 95% won't be chance to beat the system. But here is Africa, where we copy the same system of education. If you are a British colonized nation, we copy the British system of education and we adopt it to the African system, which by far is not even necessary. It's impossible. It cannot fit exactly into the African context, and as such, you should expect failure. And when those failures are coming now, we start casting blames on the West. Oh, the British people are regulating us, or the Americans, or France or different countries are now castigating. They are the ones responsible for the downfall of this. And that's bullshit. That's crap. Let's go back and restructure our education. The same people you are casting blames on are willing to provide the necessary books that you may be interested. They are ready to give you the skills, but they are not going out there for free. So therefore, what has the African system or the African government done to ensure that the African continent have a system of education that is well monitored, that has gotten all the necessary facilities for the children of Africa, ensure that the system is difficult to be manipulated? all of these things have not been captured in our educational system. Forget it, either you are from West Africa, North or East or so, it's just the same thing. Think about this for a moment. And we keep casting blames to people out there. Let's look at another thing that I would also like to throw light on, that we keep shifting blames to either the West due to our failure. It's about our economy. Since I was young unto today, I can tell you that most of the young African scholars or educated folks, as well as the aged, they will keep telling you that, oh, the reason why Africa is not growing, or our economy is not growing, is because the West is not helping us. Think about it for a second. I don't see that point too relevant. I don't see it as something very, very relevant. The reason behind this is this. When the Europeans or the Americans, the Chinese, the Indians, and other parts of the world want to unite, there are targets, there are things and platforms they created and they set. They met those targets, and at the end of the day, you see the evidence of unity among those nations. Now in Africa, those targets have not been set. Or I can say, if they have been set, but I can tell you they've not been met. For instance, Africa economy is very rich with natural resources. Think about the natural resources in the DRC Congo. Think about the natural resources in South Africa. Think about the natural resources in Sierra Leone. Think about the natural resources in Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast. Just to mention but few. There are other African nations like Gambia. There are other nations that I can tell you that are very, very rich in resources. Now, all of these resources are not tailored for the benefit of the African children. Why? I know people out there, or my fellow Africans, or other set of people will say, because the Westerners are regulated. No, stop saying that. That's too childish. That is too weak. To me, it sounds like we can't think well as Africans. Now, with those resources that we have, the white man is in Africa for a business. He's just there for the business. You want to trade with the resources that we have. Yes, of course. Let's say it were the white people that had what we are having now. And let's take the inverse, that Africa is the West and the West is Africa. What would be your expectation? Africa will still go to the West because they are interested in what they have. They will go for that resources to do business with them. But I can tell you, the failure of the Africans is the reason as to why they keep shifting blames. Now, these resources, when these people are coming, when the Westerners are coming for business engagement, our leaders keep accepting bribes from these people. And the moment you accept bribe, corruption, what do you think will be the yield, the aftermath of that? It will be for your selfish gain. It's not for the general good of the poor. It will be for yourself, myself. The moment you start accepting the brown envelope, okay, there you go. And at the end of the day, instead you bring laws or regulations for these companies to benefit the Africa's infrastructural development, education, health, and other basic amenities. You fail to think about that in your negotiation tactics. And as such, when this company starts to do their work after meeting all the necessary requirements that that country that they are operating on might have provided for them, then they will do their corporate social responsibilities. Some of them, they will maybe build a school, or they will tie a road, or they will provide some water facilities around communities. Every company can do their corporate social responsibilities, and that's understood. But your negotiation during the period those people have not started mining the African resources will be very, very relevant for you to sit and discuss. These people will accept, because no matter what, we are all from the same race. The act of shifting blame of this is black, this is white, this is yellow, this is this, it's just, that's a different topic altogether that I will bring in the subsequent videos. But it's irrelevant. It's very, very irrelevant as far as we want a better world. That negotiation that you feel is the reason as to why you are thinking that these people are exploiting us. Yes, because the commoners, the citizen voted you to be a president, a minister, so you can negotiate well, so they will benefit. But you fail to do that. And as such, hence a brown envelope has been given to you. You won't care about the masses. And when these people start exploiting the resources of Africa, you keep blaming them. Who is to blame? Is it the West or Africa? Think about it. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And this act of telling people that the Westerners are the ones eating to our economy, that's what, for instance, I can take what is happening with Ivory Coast, with France. Man, those people colonized you. You still paying tax to them? You can't stand before their face and tell them, man, we can't do this anymore, man. You don't need to do this. I believe with serious mindset, you sit on the table, you discuss about this. We are no longer living in a barbaric world. It's about discussion and using our intelligence. When we start to do such things like this, they will start to see that yes, Africans are ready for development. Another thing that we always fail to do as Africans is this. I remember when I was in school, I brought an opinion that the project of Africans will never close. You know, as project people, the project must have a commencement or a start, and it has to be monitored, controlled, and it must have an end or a close date. So after you use your monitoring skills of project managers, okay, they will understand. Sometimes you using the Gantt chart, okay, to determine your float or so. Okay, now The African project, most of them are sponsored by the Western world. And you can't expect these people that are pouring their resources on you not to come to Africa and see how things are being done. And so the moment they are bringing their children, they have come in as experts. And you need to pay them, because you can't say they come and work for free. They need to be paid. And that's part of the project. But you fail to understand that if we relinquish the concept, the ideology that our project need to be sponsored by these people, what blessing will it create to us? Let the Africans develop their own project and let them finance it by themselves. You will employ your African experts. You monitor your project very well. You ensure that everything is done in accordance with the prescription of what was written on the project. Then you agree with me that there are going to be a yieldful benefit that will be good for the masses. Failing to do all of these things, the African will still castigate or blame the West. They are the ones, when they send money for us, that one is just something that is not, to me, it's useless. It doesn't make sense to me. Yes, it doesn't make sense to me. You have your diamonds, you have your gold, bauxite, you name them. You have oil, Africa, you have everything. The people they came to Africa, let's do business. You can negotiate very well with them, and you're still blaming them. Okay, let's leave that one. Let's talk about the politics. Look into the politics. This very president in Africa that you are seeing there, I wonder who voted them. At some point, you see them like, is it the foreign world that voted them or the masses? The citizens of that country voted you as the president. But the moment you are on the throne, you don't care about them at all. All you care about is embezzling the resources of that state to develop another state. For instance, if you are from Nigeria, or you are from Ghana, or you are from Sierra Leone, or Liberia, or Guinea, or you are from South Africa, or you are from Tanzania, or you are different parts of Africa, the moment you become a president, if you have, let's say for instance, you are a president of Liberia or Sierra Leone. Okay, let's use Sierra Leone for instance. You are a president of Sierra Leone. The moment you become a president, you prefer to use Sierra Leone resources, the money, the taxpayers' money of the Sierra Leoneans. You will use that money to build factories in other neighboring countries, or maybe even United States, or maybe even England or UK, or in Germany, or in other parts of the world. Yes, forgetting that if you can create that same facility in your country, it will employ thousands of citizens, and it will reduce the unemployment rate of that particular nation. Let's say, for instance, because it's in Africa, it's normal that witch hunt or so they will be coming. Let's say, for instance, another government comes, oh no, we'll investigate this. This one should go back to the government. What is important, if you only care about your country, what is important most is that that particular facility is still within the periphery of your country, and your countrymen are still there working, and they're earning a living. You've contributed to reduce the unemployment rate of that nation. And imagine how Africa will grow from that point. I tell you, until we sit back and rethink, then we'll not stop castigating unnecessary blames to the West. I believe there are other people that might have their own opinions regarding this particular topic, but I can tell you, I still stand firm with what I have outlined, and there are many more other reasons that are responsible for the shift of blame of Africans due to their own failures. Let's accept our fault and let's work on it, and let's develop Africa. I assure you, when that is achieved, the West, they will come to Africa. You can't expect a child that have grown in America or Europe that have not seen where a fowl was slain or was killed or was slaughtered to go to a world where you might even pets are not being taken care of. You see death everywhere. The place is not organized. Society change human beings. Yes, the environment. So if you cannot accept this truth and work on it, then stop blaming the West. Stop blaming the West. Go back to the drawing board and do the necessaries. Then after which, you will come to the table. Because no country will hate to see the development of their persons. Yes, what am I saying is that if Sierra Leoneans are ready, saying that, oh, their citizens are developing, the country will be happy. If America is there seeing that Liberia is growing, it will be happy. They will go to Liberia and establish businesses. A lot of people have been saying the Arabs and the Europeans are not at par. But I still wonder if Dubai is in Europe or is in America. But because Dubai is developed, Europeans are also going there, they relax. Africa, what have you done? Create your facilities. Stop castigating the West. Stop blaming them. The unity of Africa doesn't lie in the West. They are not responsible for our disunity. They came with ideas. You bought those ideas. Our forefathers bought those ideas. And they thought those ideas are important and necessary. It was the mistake of our forefathers. If we are to unite and correct those ones now that, oh, this young generation, don't deem it fit that what our forefathers did was correct. Now, what we need to do is to revamp and come together as a necessary force and restructure to ensure that we uphold our culture and our tradition as Africans, believing in diversity. With that, I don't think the West will be there to say, no, it should not happen. It should not happen. No.